Right now on News 12 New Jersey, bracing for the flash freeze. All that water on the roadways will be freezing up as bitter cold air moves in today. Parts of the state already seeing some dangerous icing, while other areas seeing temps into the 40s, even the 50s. We've got Team 12 coverage on all the conditions.
Ice, downed trees, and power outages, and the temperature not even below freezing yet. I'm Alex Sedan in Mount Arlington with the story.
And of course, the fear is the entire state will be encrusted in ice, and with that ice comes the threat of power outages. Meteorologist Justin Godnick here to break it all down for us. We thank you very much for joining us. I'm Eric Landskroner. This is News 12 New Jersey. All right, let's get started right now with our storm watch coverage. High winds, drenching rain, sleet, snow, ice, all of it. It's the big story on News 12 New Jersey. Team 12 coverage continuing today. News 12 New Jersey's Alex Sedan in Mount Arlington covering the storm from the north. Meteorologist Dave Kern tracking the ice out over in Mobile 12. Also, meteorologist Justin Godnick tracking the latest from our weather center as well. Justin, let's start with you.
And, luckily, Eric, the back end of the precipitation now beginning to push through the state. And just in time, some of the icing totals in Morris County over towards parts of western Passaic, Sussex, now coming in at a quarter to a half an inch of ice accumulating on some of the trees here. So drier air beginning to push in right now. Arctic air right over Pennsylvania. In fact, western Pennsylvania temperatures already dropping through the teens, and that air is on its way in our direction. We focus now from the storm to the cold, and this is a wind chill advisory here in the lighter blue shading for the entire state. As we go forward into the evening hours and beyond, it will feel below zero by the time you're leaving dinner. Let's say 7, 8 o'clock this evening, temperatures will feel like 0 to about 5 below. Readings right now range from just above the freezing mark in Sussex at 33 to some lower and middle 50s down the shore in Ocean and Monmouth counties. Now, winds are slowly starting to find a direction here, and that direction will be northwest, allowing the colder air to rush in very quickly and setting us up for what is called a flash freeze. That is when temperatures drop extremely fast. You have liquid out on the roadways, on the sidewalks, on your car, wherever it may be, and that will freeze up within about 3-4 hours as temperatures quickly drop. So we go in Newark from the lower 40s to the freezing mark, and you can see that happens in about 4 hours. Right around 4 o'clock this afternoon, everybody in the state should be at or below the freezing mark, and there are areas right now in the middle 50s that are still seeing rain. So it sets the stage for widespread icing. As we go into the evening hours, we're looking for temperatures to quickly plummet back into the teens, and we're going with a mostly cloudy to partly cloudy sky. At least the precipitation does come to an end. So here it is. Everything's out of here pretty quickly, and then temperatures really start to drop off. By the time you're coming out of dinner, we're in the 20s, and these are air temperatures, not wind chill temperatures. Single digits as you are waking up on your Monday morning, and of course with it feels like it'll be even worse than that. We're only going for high temperatures on your Monday into the middle teens. That's a look at your forecast. We have Dave Curran out on the road right now. He's in Oakland in Bergen County. How's it looking out there, Dave?
You know what, Justin, we're going to be talking about, as you were just saying, that rapid drop in temperatures is going to create for some real treacherous conditions as we go into tonight and into very early tomorrow morning. Skyline Drive here in Oakland is closed. Now, coming down Skyline Drive, it's still open, but getting up, it has been closed because we're anticipating that rapid drop in temperatures is going to glaze everything over with ice. We could be looking at a temperature drop of 15 to 30 degrees within the next 12 hours. That is a significant drop in temperatures. So everything that has collected on the trees, on the roadway, if it looks wet, it is going to be dangerously frozen over a little bit later on tonight. So again, we're here in Oakland. Skyline Drive has been closed. I do want to point out, just going over here, all of this slush, we've been talking about this for a while now. This storm wasn't necessarily about how much snow you were going to get. It's this slurpy-like consistency to the snow that's on the ground right now. That is going to freeze over, and it is going to be very, very dangerous. Usually, I've noticed if it's a 12, an 18, a 24-inch snowfall, people, generally speaking, have been okay with cleaning it up. I have not seen one happy face shoveling this slop as we were coming up here earlier this morning. This is all going to be, solid as a rock later on tonight as those temperatures really begin to drop. And honestly, that is going to be the bigger story this dangerous cold. You need to be dressed, wrapped in layers, as many as possible. Hypothermia can set in. Frostbite can set in if your skin is exposed later tonight, early tomorrow morning, in 30 minutes or less. So that's going to be the dangerous sticking point in this forecast going forward. Again, we're here in Oakland. Skyline Drive is closed. I think there's going to be many more roads just like this that are going to see a nice sheen of ice on it, making things very dangerous here in New Jersey. We're going to have more on that coming up a little bit later in the show. Again, from Bergen County, Oakland, meteorologist Dave Curran. Right now, we'll send it back into you, Eric.
All right, Dave, thank you. And it's just a taste of what is to come from this winter storm. The ice, the outages, downed trees. We find News 12 New Jersey's Alex Zidane in Mount Arlington, where a downed tree is already causing some problems there. Alex?
That's right, problems for sure. Now, the rain has stopped here in Mount Arlington. Anything that you see hurtling through the air may be ice that's coming down off the trees. The wind is actually knocking some of these ice pellets our way whenever it kicks up, because the trees are pretty much completely encrusted with ice. And this is kind of the source of the problem from before. We had earlier a downed tree over there. You can still see some of the wires leaning down there and the remnants of the tree. This has knocked out power to this neighborhood up here on Bensel Drive in Mount Arlington. We know definitely of multiple homeowners here in this area, in this neighborhood, who are out of power. But some residents still getting to work, shoveling their driveways as of right now. About 2 inches of snow on the ground. They're shoveling it. They're getting snow blowers out in some cases. Temperature is right around the freezing mark. It's about 32 degrees as of a few moments ago. Obviously expected to fall much further, as we've been telling you. Now, this tree that cracked that fell on power lines happened around 9 a.m. That's what knocked the power out. Crews were out here cutting it earlier. Finally were able to remove that tree off the power line itself still needing to be repaired. Large limb dangling from the lines wasn't something anyone around here wanted to see. One guy told us that it interrupted brewing his first cup of coffee in the morning. He'd hate it when that happens. Now he's not getting it. He's coffeeless as of right now. Temperatures headed down to the single digits. Folks cleaning up after the storm, they're already thinking ahead to what happens tonight.
Cleaning up the driveway, doing what I can, getting ready to clean up some snow and ice, and after that, hopefully the rain will stop and then I can put down some salt and we'll be in business.
What do you think about tonight, the freeze that's coming up?
That's what I'm concerned about, yeah.
Definitely a concerning thing to have no power with temperatures going down into the single digits. But fortunately, the people here, we've been told that they're expecting to get power back right around noon. So that's the good news. The bad news is with the wind kicking up, some of this stuff that's on the trees could be hurtling your way if you're standing out here. Yet another reason to stay indoors in the aftermath of all this as we wait for these wet streets and this wet ground to potentially freeze solid as temperatures plummet into the afternoon and into the evening. But for now, in Mount Arlington, Alex Zidane, News 12, New Jersey.
Alex, thank you. Hard to believe we're talking about it getting so cold when late this morning we were looking at 50-degree temperatures in Brick Township. But as we said, might be mild now, but this wind chill advisory is in effect until 1 tomorrow. This affects most of New Jersey beginning later today, as well as surrounding states as well. So what will this mean? The bitter cold wind chills could be as low as 20 below in some areas. Officials say being outside for as little as 30 minutes can cause frostbite. And it is going to be so cold, Monmouth County has a cold blue alert for this weekend. It began this morning, runs through Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you need a warming center, contact your local police department first. Code blue alerts have helped 130 people in Monmouth County since November. And in Hudson County, there's a code blue alert in effect through Monday. Officials are boosting resources to accommodate the homeless population. Extra pickups were added from pre-designated locations in Jersey City and Hoboken. The Kearney Warming Center will also be open through Tuesday. Anybody needing shelter can also call the Bayonne Police Department. The Department of Health issuing an alert ahead of the flash freeze. If you have to head outside, and we've been saying this over and over again, dress in layers and wear a hat. Avoid overexertion if you have to do any shoveling out there. In the event of power outages, do not use a generator in an enclosed space. That includes a place like a garage that's closed. Could lead to dangerous carbon monoxide levels. And with those dangerously cold temps headed our way, fire officials want to make sure that you keep your home warm while keeping safe. They say always plug space heaters directly into an outlet, not power strips. Dispose of coals from the fireplace in a metal can far away from your home, and take steps to prevent your pipes from freezing. Officials also want to make sure that you have working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And what you may not remember is by this time last year, New Jersey had already experienced a major winter storm. January 4th, 2018 was the year's first snowfall, which dumped up to 18 inches of snow in some towns. Now here's a comparison for you in South Jersey compared to last January. Look at the difference right there. And here is a year-by-year comparison in North Jersey, looking at Newark as a market here. Again, this so far still with several days to go in the month of January. And the threat of snow not keeping people away from the slopes here in the state. Mountain Creek Ski Resort in Vernon says it has plenty of snow and 35 trails open for every level of skier and snowboarder. Tubing is all ready to go as well. The park's hours are until 9 tonight. And looking at Campcraw Mountain's live cams right now, tubing areas and main slopes all covered in white as well. All ski lifts open today, while ski trails, 6 trails are open for your enjoyment. Campcraw opened at 8:30 and will go until 8 tonight. And we will, of course, keep following the weather all day for you as that deep freeze approaches. We'll keep you updated on air, online, and via the News 12 app.